Call this March 2nd board meeting to order. George, will you take roll?
Colonel Evans?
Here.
Mr. Grozan?
Here.
Mrs. Ludwig?
Here.
Mr. Micko?
Here.
Mr. Naso?
Here.
All present.
Stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. This is the part of the meeting where we talk about our district goals. So every week, every meeting, we repeat our district goals. The first one, of course, is student achievement. The second is financial prudence. And the third one is community involvement. And, you know, this, later in the meeting, we're gonna meet someone really new to the district who's just gonna be incredible for us. But it was really a great example of community, because we got a lot of feedback and a lot of help from some local subject matter experts, as I'll call them, on these things, and everybody was involved, and everybody was excited, and we ended up with an incredible choice. So as we balance those goals out at every meeting, I think that's important that we just talk a little bit about that, and I'll talk more about that later. And with that gets us to item 5, which is public comment, and I don't believe we have any. That brings us to Superintendent Report. Cameron?
Mr. Naso, if it's okay with you, I'd like to start with Coach Serino.
Sweet.
All right, I'm going to go over to the podium. Coach? I love how we're all wearing athletic gear and our coach wears a suit. Thanks for looking good.
I don't have any yet.
That's right, we'll get you there.
We're working
We'll
on
get
that.
you there. Well, as Mr. Naso said, obviously, just a handful of weeks ago, our previous coach decided to move on to another school district, and we began that search for our next head coach for our football program. And as I've said many times, when you look to fill key positions in a district, there's always that sense of anxiety and nervousness of, are we going to find the right guy in this situation for the position? And you know, we put that application out there. We got a number of highly qualified candidates, and we began our search. And you know, I was highly impressed with all of our candidates that applied. But for me personally, there was one that stood out from the moment I met him, and that was Coach Serino. He had something special about him. He had a passion and a drive and an intensity that I think we need, not only on the football field, but in our classroom and in our district. And he really began to set himself apart. And, you know, we went to another round where we brought Coach Serino and others back together, and we did reach out to the community and said, we want the boosters' feedback. We would like to hear from the SFL. We'd like to hear from some of our coaching staff and our administrative staff and our high school staff. And the same sentiments were felt every time we got to talk to Lou. Another time, he just continued to solidify that he was the right guy for the position right now in our district. And you know, the board officially approved Coach's contract as a teacher and as a coach at a special meeting on Tuesday. But for the public, I just want to share a few highlights that we shared in the press release, but they bear repeating again. He's been a head coach. He's 33 years old. I know we usually don't say age, but he's 33 years old, and he's just finishing his 7th year as a head coach, which to me is just remarkable. And not only was he a young head coach, but a successful head coach with a 46-25 record at West Geauga, qualified for the OHSAA playoffs in 3 of his 7 seasons there, and moved further in the playoffs in the 2015 season. You know, the other thing that he's been recognized is not only his wins and losses, but Chagrin Valley Coach of the Year, AP Northeast Ohio Lakes All-District Coach of the Year, and Ohio Division III State Coach of the Year in 2013. I'm extremely proud and excited about his record at West Geauga and what that means for the future of our program. And one of the things that I shared with Lou, you know, sometimes folks will say, well, West Geauga is a small district. And what I shared with him, and I feel deeply in my heart, is that leadership knows no numbers. If you can lead in a small district, you can lead in a large district. He had 250 boys in his freshman through junior class. We have 750, and right now his football program at West G equals the number of participants in our program at Strongsville High School. So if he can get I'd say rough math, 40% of his boys in freshman through junior year to participate in the football program. The sky's the limit for you here at Strongsville. The last thing I'll say before I turn it over to Coach is that it's not only about what he could do on the football field, but it's about what he can do in the classroom. One of the comments that he made to us in the first interview that stuck with me is, I held myself to the same standards on the football field as I do it to the classroom. And I think that's evidenced by being named High School Teacher of the Year both 2009 and 2014 at West Geauga. And last but not least, he's an Ohio State grad. So, you can't go wrong with that, right? So on behalf of on behalf of the entire district, we're thrilled to bring you on board, Lou. We're thrilled to have you part of the Strongsville family, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'd like to say thank you to the board for approving me and hiring me, to Cameron and Jenny, obviously, for going through the interview process, and my new principal, my new AD. But more importantly, the community so far has been unbelievable to me. The intensity that they have brought, I think, is finally, I found a place that matches my intensity on a day-to-day basis, and that's exciting. They mentioned to me in the interview process, too, that this is a high-achieving district, and that's why I'm here. I want to build a high-achieving football program from the bottom up. And I looked at the little sign over there. It talks about aligning academic standards, and it's the same thing we need to do with our athletic program, and that's what I'm here for, is to align the football program from 7 years old to 12th grade. So I look forward to that challenge. I can't wait to see everyone Friday nights, but there's a lot of work to be done, and I can't wait to sweat and get after the boys tomorrow and for the rest of the year. So thank you again for everything you've done for me. I'll make you proud.
Thank you.
No, Lou, you have to run the gauntlet.
You have to run the
You have to run the
gauntlet.
gauntlet, yeah. It's a requirement.
I do have lunar lights on, they're called. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Duke. Thank you. George.
Welcome.
Jane, thank you. And George again.
I'm
Very
most
simple
impressed
names.
with your
All right. That's the rumor.
Once again, congratulations, Lou, and welcome aboard.
Yep. I do want to, before we move on, I talked about community involvement in this process, and, we had a lot of coaches to pick through, and we had a great, we ended up with the cream of the crop for sure, but there were some people that I just wanted to mention from the community who stepped up, and one of them was Jimmy Carbone, city councilman, who, worked with us, and then we had Chris Miller and Chad Dasher from the SFL who really stepped up and did a lot of work and helped us in the screening process. Chris Duaz and Frank Melcheski both put in a lot of effort and a lot of work. Dan Martin from the Boosters, and even Antoine Peak from the NFL. So we've got information from all the way from the SFL to the NFL. So, and we picked Lou, and I think we're really fortunate. I'm getting feedback already from the players. We're seeing texts from your meeting in the locker room, like, woo, they're all excited, they're pumped, they're ready to win. The brand new weight room's all set up. It's perfect timing for all this to go on, but talked to the SFL guys today who we met with today, and they were like, home run. So get at it, let's win.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and
Yeah, we got, you may not have any gear yet, but this is for your wife. Welcome to Strongsville to her, and thank
Thank
you
you
for
very
all
much.
all the inconvenience of moving here.
Thank
but
you.
You'll love it when you get here.
Oh, I can't wait. We got put on the MLS drip, I guess it's called today. That's what Miller told me on the Thank you.
thank you.
We have a couple items on the agenda under timely information. We do have an annual agreement or a 2-year agreement to approve for the Educational Service Center of Cuyahoga County, that we enter into a 2-year agreement with them to implement the county services listed in the exhibit for the 17-18 and 18-19 school year, which will start this July 2017 and run through June 30, 2019, and that can be found in Exhibit A. Any questions for that? We also have an overnight trip for the Strongsville High School Key Club. Be resolved my recommendation that permission be granted to the Key Club to travel to Dublin, Ohio to participate in the District Leadership Convention from March 10th through 12th of this year. Expenses with the trip will be paid by the participating students and the Kiwanis Club funds. That ends the curriculum report unless there's questions. And Jenny has one item under Human Resources.
I have one item for your consideration tonight. Under C1, I have the resignation of a leadership, Mr. Mark Donnelly.
And that ends the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Cameron. That brings us, the consent calendar, all items with an asterisk, get approved in one vote. Do I have a motion? And it is Lent, so it is possible we could get a motion from Richard.
So moved.
Thank you, Richard.
Second.
Thank you, Duke. Any discussion?
It is Lent, so we should explain that. in
We
our
should explain
discussion.
it. You
So
go ahead and,
I give up not making motions during Lent, so.
Carl always looks forward to it.
I always look forward to
I
Lent.
thought you always gave up seconding.
I'm
That's
gonna,
what you-
I'm gonna give up some, every Lent you wanna do something new and some more, so I'm gonna give up not making the first motion.
I'll
And
second that.
The history of that was when my daughter was a freshman in high school, and she was in school, student government. She's like, "Dad, you gotta do it, it's awesome." So, for Lent. And that's all I have to say.
well, thank you. George, can you take a roll?
Mr. Miko?
Yes.
Colonel Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Grozan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ludwig?
Yes.
Mr. Naso?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent. Board other? The only other I have is that we do, and continuing on our football theme for the evening, that this Monday night at 7 PM in the high school auditorium, we're going to have a Meet the Coach night for all football players, parents, anybody who wants to come up. I really would like us to make an effort to reach out to, make a second effort to get the 7th and 8th graders there. So to make sure that it's not just, they may not see it, I don't know exactly how that communication goes. I don't know if there's a tweet or texting or anything we can do to reach the football players from the 7th and 8th grade. I'd really love for them to meet the coach. So I think that would be an excellent thing. So once again, it's this coming Monday, 7 o'clock, Strongsville Auditorium.
Mr. Naso?
Yes, sir.
I have some other. I had the opportunity today to be at the PTA council meeting, and actually, I forgot my notes, so thank you to Robin Micko for sending me some texts real quick. On March 7th at 7 PM, there's a mother/daughter self-defense class that's open at the high school. Look on the website for registration. On March 8th, Maraski PTA is having a fundraiser through Master Pizza, and then that same evening, Five Guys fundraiser for the Strongsville High School after prom. Last year, we unfortunately had some water drip on some of the items for after prom, and so we had a bunch of damage. So that's a big fundraiser for them. They need to raise some money to try to get some of that stuff back. And then March 10th, it's the PTA Rockin' at the Rec. Chaperones are always needed and welcome. And then finally, March 27th, we'll just feed you guys all the time. Chipotle fundraiser for the Strongsville High School PTA. And that's March 27th, I believe, through 5 through 9 or 6 through 9. I just mentioned PTA, and proceeds of those funds go right to the PTA. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jana Rich?
Mr. Naso, I have a couple others.
Please.
On Monday, I believe it's the 13th, we have our first Family First Night, Family Fun Night. We are going to, teachers have been instructed, we're not giving homework that evening. There won't be tests on Tuesday. We really want to encourage families to spend the night together doing nothing but enjoying each other's company and having fun. But as a part of that, we are going to offer, if anybody would like to join us at the middle school from 6 to 8, they're more than welcome. And Mr. Faust and myself, and along with the SPOT committee, have been working hard to plan this event. We'll have games and music and I think bingo, right, Mr. Faust? And some cornhole and just some fun. And also, I think we have pizza available as well. So it'll be a great night if families are looking for just a nice time to come out. We'd love to have you, or you can just spend the night at home and enjoy each other. Also, on March 15th, from 7 to 8 at the middle school, we have our first series in the Love and Logic that was sponsored by the Strongsville Civic Team. We do have, I think, about 20 parents already signed up for that first session. We would welcome more. If you decide on Wednesday that you can come, you don't have to sign up ahead of time. We just wanted to make sure we had enough to run the program, and we do. So welcome to anybody that would like to attend that.
Excellent.
No, I'm good.
And I just want to highlight that next week, is it the 6th that Cameron's going to Columbus?
It's the 7th.
The 7th, Cameron will be going to Columbus to give testimony in front of the legislature about the current governor's budget. So I just remind all of our citizens in Strongsville to continue to contact their state rep, Mr. Patton, and their state senator, Mr. Dolan, about this issue.
And all the contact information from the last meeting is on the main page of the website.
And as a reminder, they want to take another $500,000 away from us, from our district. So please contact your local politician and tell them that it's not fair after they've already taken $3.6 million away from us. Everybody knows this is an issue I'm a bit passionate about. So please contact both Patton and Dolan and tell them, enough's enough. Thank you.
Where's the location again for Meet the Coach?
Strongsville High School Auditorium, 7 o'clock Monday night.
Okay.
Excellent. Executive session. I do believe we have the need for executive session for two.
We do, to consider the employment and dismissal of a public employee or official, and to prepare for negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Richard.
Second.
Do I have a second? Thank you, Duke.
You're welcome.
Any discussion? George?
Mr. Miko?
Yes.
Colonel Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Grozan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ludwig?
Yes.
Mr. Naso?
Yes.
Enter an executive session at 7:23?
7:25.
7:25.
I don't believe we have any public business afterwards, so. Good.